Hey, hi, hello, Chrissy here, coming to you from her home. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you lots. Okay, so I want to talk to you about, I want to give you actually some tips and reasons why relationships break down and why, just why they break down and why they end. Because I guarantee some of these reasons would be like, oh my God. But I can give you 3 reasons for each male and female why relationships break down. So from a female's perspective, if we feel like that we are going unseen or we're not understood or we're unsafe. So those 3 reasons. So those are the 3. So if we feel unseen, so we're not acknowledged, or so say if you walk in the room and you don't notice something, you don't notice things that you should notice. If we, it's weird, but if we feel not understood, or if you're not listened to, or it's those kind of things, or that we kind of break down over, is a breakdown, basically a breakdown of a relationship. Because if you don't, if as a woman, if I don't feel like I'm understood, or that I'm even at least being tried to or listened to, then there's nothing. It just kind of, your energy goes and you're like, no, okay, whatever. And safe, I'm not talking like safe in security. I'm talking about safe, open, so that you can be open with your partner, so that you can talk to them, so that you communicate. That kind of safe, not just the whole security and house and finances. It's more to do with communication and being able to express the feelings in front of each other. So those are the 3 U's for a woman, basically. So men, you need to make sure women are seen, your girlfriend is seen, that they're understood, that you at least try to understand and come from a place of understanding and say, yeah, I totally get it, I understand. Even if you don't, just let them rant at you, let them just get all their crap out of their head, because we have a lot. We have a lot of stuff that we don't understand ourselves. We just need to get it out. We need to verbalize it, and then it makes sense. And then just say, yeah, I hear you. It's okay. Yes, okay. Not patronizing though. Oh my God, there's so much. But no, those are the kind of 3 things. But as from a male's perspective, men do not like to be criticized. They do not like to be controlled. And they're just closed humans. That's how they function. But the only way they open up is when we open up as women. So the men don't want to feel criticized. So don't ever be critical of anything that they do. Or if you do, call it out, say, no, apology, I didn't mean to be critical. I didn't mean to do that. And controlled, right? As Tony Robbins put it, so they're not kind of hairy females that need to be coached, or hairy people that need to be coached. We're not, because we as females, we do it a lot. We try and coach, we try and train, we try and, I don't know, it influences the word that we need to use. But they don't like being controlled. It's not, no. So anything that you kind of say or do, you can't come across as controlling. So those are the 3 C's for the male's perspective. So don't criticize, don't make them feel like tiny, don't make them feel like, make them open up. So I know they're closed people, that's just the way they are, but if you open up, then they do. And then controlled, so don't control them. Those 3 things. If you kind of watch all those things, then your relationship will be fine. If you make them feel loved, like they're your hero, especially from a male perspective, if you make them feel like they're your hero, that they are awesome, that you're proud of them, that you appreciate them, and that it's okay to open up, you give them that safe space to open up. So yeah, those are the kind of 3 things for each sex. So the 3 U's and the C's, if they aren't actually met, it's going to start the breakdown of the relationship and cause depolarization. So your energy, your meanings will start to change. So whatever that person does, but you used to love because it was just funny or something quirky, or because you had that whole, like, that energy, it's like, oh my God, I love him. Oh my God, I love her because she's doing this. But now it actually becomes annoying. Your responses change. They become different because of the kind of effect of what's happened through the other stuff I was talking about. So if you've kind of started being more controlling, or you kind of as Tony says, you kind of put stickers on each other, right? So you kind of like labeling stuff and judging and saying, well, no, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then you kind of get into like a massive cycle, a negative cycle, and you're just going to keep, so you kind of tarnish that now. So your meanings for whatever they did, maybe their eating annoys you, maybe, I don't know, the way they breathe, but you all used to love it, but there's always something that you've attached to it. So the 2 steps is obviously the loss of attraction, depolarization. I hope you get that. When your energy changes for somebody at the beginning of a relationship, you're all happy, you're excited, you love, and then obviously as you kind of progress, you kind of start putting these stickies on and you start judging, and things aren't happening, you're not happy, you're not feeling happy, your mood, your energy, your state is dropping. So you just kind of attach all this negative stuff to the stuff that they do, and you kind of forget why you love them in the first place. So yeah, that's kind of, but the things that cause the depolarization, right, is resistance. Okay, projecting your experiences onto that person. So in your past experiences, so your other experiences with your relationships, your past relationships, you've all had an experience, and you kind of start tarnishing your new relationship with the same brush. Okay, you're thinking about that through the filter of your past relationships. I hope I'm making sense. So yeah, something may even trigger the pain or something from your past relationship, and then that's it. So you're thinking from your previous experience, which I know I hold my hand up, I do that, but you need to try and own that shit. That's your issue, it's not theirs. It's like if they trigger you in some form, one way or another, then that's not their problem. That's your issue. You need to recognize it yourself. You need to own it. Call it out. Okay, speak the unspeakable. Okay, that's the other thing, right? Because if you do not speak these, if you do not talk about these, or with your partner, and even actually say them out in the open, it's going to go to the next one. It's going to go to the next step, which is actually turning to resentment. So you wish they wouldn't do this certain thing. About those things that you love about them and that they did do, you wish that they didn't do. It turns into kind of, God, why are you doing it? You get more angry with it, and then you start stacking all of this stuff on that they do, all these kind of things that irritate you. So yeah, if you don't let your partner feel like they are the most important thing in your life, then depolarization is going to start happening. The energy is going to change, everything, it's going to happen fast. So if you don't kind of notice what's going on, and why you've started to resent, or why these issues are coming up, then it's going to lead into rejection and snapping and built up emotion, and all this stuff that you stack, it's just going to keep stacking and stacking. And if you don't say it, you're going to become repressed, and you're just going to literally stop. You're not even going to say anything, and the relationship will get to the point where like you're just in the relationship for the ship, not for the relations. So you're too scared to leave, you're too attached to it, so you just leave. So you end up living in separate lives but in the same house, and that's what it'll end up like. And so you've got to kind of live, you have to make sure that the other person knows how important they are to you, because that's the ultimate need, and that's the ultimate. If these 4 R's happen, then you need to get in there quick. You need to notice when they are, because most of the time it is your shit that you're kind of projecting onto the other person. It's your past experiences. So call it out, talk about it, communicate, and have that safe space to speak. So open up, so that the other one's not going to fly off the handle if you start talking about your feelings. Yes, it may hurt, but you need to you got to get this out, because otherwise there is no relationship. Okay, I hope that has helped. You are wicked awesome. I love you. Goodbye.